what's going on. You know what? I just realized I haven't even put the other video out. So I'm gonna have to do that. Dude, my face cam is so ass. New flavor. Tropical Tundra Frost. It's basic. You guys can't even hear me. It's basically just green apple. Like literally to the T. It's probably the most green apple flavor that I've that I've ever tasted. Like anything else that says it's green apple, it's not green apple. This Tropical Tundra Frost is green apple. Like what? Bro, look at my collection. You guys want to see my collection? Motherfucker, bro. You guys want to see my collection? See that? You can't even see it, bro. Right there. Each one of those cans is a different flavor. Hold on, let's see if you can see it. Like, yeah. Let me show you the one that I think is the most rare. In the monster collection. The most rare monster one that I have. Some people say it isn't, but I've only found it once, and since then I haven't found it again. Monster Energy Assault. I've literally only found it once, and it was at a Dollar Tree, and I haven't seen it since then. Someone told me that they found this. You can find it at gas stations, but bro, how you gonna tell me you can find it somewhere? Look at my collection, bro. Each one of those cans is a different flavor. I've tried not almost all of them, but well, almost all of them. I need to do the 3Ds. That's the Alpha Land drink. I don't have the coffee versions of the monsters. That's like another 7 that I could put in there. Yeah, there's probably another collection. But how you gonna tell me you can find something somewhere when I literally collect them, and I've been to multiple gas stations, and I have not found it once after the one time that I did find it. And I've literally the first time I found it, I was like, bro, I've never seen this before. I gotta get this. I've never even seen anybody drink this. It literally, you know what it tastes like? Exactly like Coca-Cola. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's so weird. My plates, bro. Bro caught me lacking. That was from last night, bro. Ain't gonna cap. That was from last night, bro. But we're about to do some, you know what I'm saying? Let me just put that shit right here. We're about to do some pre-market. You know what? What the fuck? What was that, bro? Hold on. You can probably get it on here. Oh. No, you can't even get it on Amazon, bro. Killer Brew? What the fuck? Bro, what? Well, that's loud as hell, probably, my bad. I haven't had black, but I need to try that one. I've wanted to try it. I've tried Nitro. It's, from what I remember, it's not the greatest. Well, it's kind of like an orange juice, I think. There's another one that's an orange version of this. I think that might be what I'm thinking about. Import's pretty good. It's just I think it's just the same thing, but it's just imported. But I still have that one somewhere, somewhere in there. It's a bigger can though. I had this one. I've had all those. Pretty sure I had that one. Actually, I don't think I have this one yet. Sometimes I don't feel like getting new flavors because I'm like, bro, what if it's ass? But I just might have to commit to the collection. Just be like, okay, if it's ass, it's your fault. I need to have these. I've had this one. I don't think it's in the collection though. I've had this one. I've had this one. Those are both in there. Green tea is not in the collection because you can't really find this one as around places as much as the others. I know this is not even trading related, but I don't give a fuck. Oh, perfect. Okay. Also, I have a Mountain Dew one. I'll show you in a sec. Bro, look. Is it gonna let me fucking zoom in? Alright. I've had this one. I've had this one. Chaotic is one of my top favorites. It's so good. Did it taste like marshmallows as an energy drink? It's so good. This one's pretty good. I like this one. I had this one 2 days ago. It's pretty good actually. Papillon, Papillon, whatever the fuck. I remember that one being decent. I remember the gold one. That one's like pineapple. This one's pretty good, even though it's a rehab, but it's still good. The watermelon ones, it's like it's okay. I mean, it's good, but it's like not crazy. You know what I'm saying? These two are just like, you know, regular fucking monsters. As with this one, I don't think the first time I had it, I don't think I remember liking it as much, and I think that first one is in there, and I don't know what these ones are. Those look old. Those are like old ass cans. Like these are rehab. Oh, those are reserves. These are rehabs. Oh, I'm not sure. Some shit. We're gonna go through this shit, bro. We got this shit open. If you guys haven't seen yesterday's video about my trade, you should go check it out because honestly, it was in my eyes, it was a pretty good trade. But yeah, fuck that shit. We need to get to the video. In my eyes, it was a pretty good trade. But um, I just barely missed a couple things. Things happen. Today we have basically nothing for news. So anyways, oh, you know what? We're in this gap, and we just sought that liquidity. So we on type shit mode. Well, actually, oh yeah, we did. My eternal soul. Kanye. Damn it. We're bullish. Yes, we're bullish. But we just swept daily liquidity, so we gotta be careful and highly malleable to be able to. That's a weird word to use, but like it's the first thing that came to my mind. We gotta be able to have the ability to change our bias, because we know damn well that price is probably gonna swap over to bearish. If we're being honest, if we're being for real, because on the 1 hour we're bearish. We're bearish on the 1 hour. 30-minute we're bearish. What about weekly? On the weekly, we had just swept a liquidity and filled an imbalance. So we're overall bullish. We might be bearish here. I mean, we filled this gap. Maybe we're gonna be bearish to fill the rest of this gap. what I'm saying? I mean, we also got liquidity down here. I mean, that's obviously not gonna get hit today, but this is just like, you know, hindsight. Bro, the fuck. But what do we have? 1 hour. So we're bullish on the daily and the 4 hour. We're bearish on the 1 hour. And we're bearish on the 30-minute. So, well, the first thing I see is this. Well, here, I'll just do it. I'll just show you first before I do that. Boom. Is this huge imbalance that needs to be filled. And, you know, immediately what we can do is we can just draw EQ. So you already know we're probably going to come down to this half. I don't even have to, like, do that. But what I want to do is yo, bro, I need a better like camera placement. Like I could low-key want it like right here, but I just need a better camera, bro. Like oh my gosh. And I can't use my phone. Well, I can't even do that. Like you know what I'm saying? Cause like I don't have enough space on my phone, so I would need a real camera. If only. Ask for one for my birthday. I already know what I want. I want that M50 Mark II. Watch. Let me lock in. See, I already knew who it was. With battery and charger, excellent plus, $541. It's pretty good. Dude, I have to take a shit, bro. Let's get this going, bro. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pause it. Alright. Dang 'em! Alright, so essentially hold on, bro. You can't even hear it. Fuck. I'm maxed out on resources. But bro, get to the fucking point. So we've just swept the liquidity on the high time frames. So we're most likely going to be bearish for today. Even though we are bullish on the higher time frames, we do have this imbalance to be filled with along with equilibrium. So I say that we probably come down here. But we also see this, look at the 4 hour. We see this wick after tapping into it. But here's the thing is that happened before and type shit, you know what I'm saying? So like, nah. Right here. It was this one. I remember because I took the trade. It had like tapped into here. And then we tried taking this trade. Trade up into this candle. Boom, kept going, kept going. Same shit's gonna happen, bro. I'm gonna be probably looking for shorts today, if I'm gonna be honest. But yeah. Oh, that's gonna be about it for the for the pre-market. I'm gonna start stream. Make sure you check it out. Stetson HQ at Kick.com. Stetson HQ. Same shit. Dude, I'm so chopped right now. But yeah, I will see you guys at post market after the stream. Alright, what's going on, guys? So, post market analysis. I did end up losing that trade. Actually, I don't even need. I look retarded. Doesn't matter. I don't even need my headphones on. I can just do it like this. So we did end up losing that trade. Yeah, and exactly what I thought was going to happen is happening. But, I mean, I kind of went over it in stream. But, so essentially, this was a trade that I took right here. Um, we can kind of just go over my recap right here. Um, so we took a short on NQ. It was a loss. It was of a fair value gap, retrace, and then there was an order block. And there was technically breaker structure as well. And I lost this much. I de-risked, so it was a little more than I wanted, to be honest. I wanted around 250, but it did a bit more, which is kind of annoying. So it was around actually like 0.75. So we were bullish, but just swept daily liquidity. So clearly going to go bearish. Um, we had this was the daily liquidity sweep here. We also had a 1 hour order block and London highs, but obvious. Oh yeah, basically I was basically saying that yeah, we have this 1 hour order block in London highs here, but we're not gonna hit to these highs in the amount of time that I'm trading, which is like 8:30 to 10:30 max. We're we were like down here, and I'm like we're not gonna get up here within the amount of time that I'm trading, and I should have like okay, so I'll show you. Let's just keep reading this. I was gonna show you. I was just gonna try and explain it more, but I'll just keep reading it. So basically, I said we have daily liquidity here. We also have order block in London highs, but obviously not going to hit up there in the amount of time that I would be trading. So if anything, I should have been bullish intraday because we're retracing up to here because it's a high time frame order block and there's London highs. Especially after we swept London lows on ES. We did not sweep them on NQ. This is a part of London lows, this right here. So we didn't end up sweeping them here, but we did on ES. Yeah, even though we did not NQ. Um, and there was an SMT. It was literally ES swept London lows. NQ did not. There was an SMT divergence, and I just completely disregarded it because I was bearish. So I was basically just like blind to the fact that I should be looking for bullish sentiment as well, which I'll go over in a second. But I was like, should have realized, oh, we just swept London lows, and we have an order block and highs to be swept, so I should be bullish. Bro, let me go to the next one. Okay. Bro, I did that shit again. Oh my gosh, why? Every fucking time, dude. So I don't have the 5 minute. What fucking whatever. I don't care. So on the 1 hour, we just read that one. So here's the 30 minute. So essentially what was happening was this is what I was thinking. The first thing I did mark out was this. I had the order block and the highs, and then I also had this gap right here, and we were in EQ. The At the beginning, I was like, okay, I definitely want to go here. I definitely want to be in this order block and this high. That's what I would like to see. But then we got this wick right here into this imbalance. So I was like, okay, well maybe we're not gonna go up to those highs yet. Maybe it's gonna be at a later time, just not today in this trading day. So I was like, maybe I should just be looking for trades short from here. But I was also like, this is way more high confluence, so I should have just waited for this. And again, so let's just read it. We had this 30-minute imbalance, and there was 5-minute SMT divergence. Even I think SMT on this as well. If we go to the ES, it might be different as well. And I was bearish, so I was already heavy on the bearish bias. I was basically saying I was already bearish, and then we had this bearish SMT, so I was like, okay, we're definitely bearish. So I wasn't really thinking about the fact that London lows were just swept. London lows being swept probably means we are actually going to go towards that order block up there, but I just need to do more analyzing while trading and be looking at confluences for both sides. Basically, I should have been like, okay, well, we just swept London lows on ES, and we still had this high confluence order block, and these London highs to be swept, and we just swept liquidity. So why would we be going short anyways after, especially after that? But I just was so blinded by the fact that we just wicked out of this imbalance and we had SMT divergence, bearish SMT. So I was like, oh, yeah, we're bearish. Especially because I already had bearish bias just because of all the confluences and the bias that I already had from pre-market. And then here's that bearish SMT. And then essentially we went into this, we filled this gap. We swept liquidity. We came down. This was not a liquidity sweep, by the way. So, like, there's no order block here. But we did come down. We came back up into here, into this order block. And then we made not order block, this imbalance. And then we made it an order block. So I was like, okay, boom, order block. Let's wait for a close outside of it and then a close inside. Entered trade. We swept this high, came back down. I actually thought I was gonna win the trade. We came back up. This was not where my high was, by the way. It was here. Hold on. If you were at the stream, you would know. You would have seen it. It was literally like this. It was right here. I was literally 1 point away from being stopped out, and I was like, no way. So we came back down, and then I just ended up getting stopped out. And look, exactly where I thought we were gonna go. We went right to it. And if anything, I bet we're gonna go to here to this 1 minute order block. Or we might just go right past it and, continue being bullish. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe this liquidity sweep, yeah, we swept daily liquidity. Okay, we came down here. We did all a little thing. We did whatever. Got some liquidity. We swept liquidity. Dude, what the fuck is wrong with me? Bro, we have London lows here. And at London lows, in London session, the London lows swept this low right here. I just need to be more analytical. Essentially, what I was saying during the stream is, and what I'm trying to say here is the fact that um, when I'm doing pre-market, instead of just looking at one bias and being like, okay, that's all that's happening, I'm gonna need to be like, okay, this is currently what we are. Example bearish. This is currently what we are, and if this continues, then this is what I'll do, and then this is what I'll be looking for, and this is what I'll enter off of. But if I see this, which I'm open to, then we might be bullish instead. And then if this happens, then I could enter off of this. Instead of just being like, oh, we're bearish and we're just gonna stay bearish, we could be like, okay, yeah, we're bearish, but boom, we just swept this liquidity over here from London lows, and then on ES we just swept London lows, and we had this high confluence order block and London highs to be swept. So obviously we're going to come up here. And that's what I was thinking at the beginning. But then as soon as I saw that wick down from this fair value gap and then SMT right here, I was like, okay, well, I mean, maybe we're going to continue lower first and then we'll come back up here later. Obviously, it was a lot quicker than later, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking, oh, maybe it'll come back up here to like on Monday or like later today, like at like a 3 or 4 right as we end. Maybe we sweep this liquidity. I don't know. I mean, obviously we're going to. We're either gonna sweep that liquidity or we're just gonna rally past it. But yeah, essentially the problem with this trade was that I was completely blinded by the fact that I just kept seeing a bunch of bearish confluences happening and I wasn't looking at both sides. That's the problem I have when trading, is I'm only looking at my bias instead of looking at both sides of the trade. I need to look at
or instead of looking at one side of the trade, I need to be looking at both sides. Yeah, I could be bearish and be looking, okay, most likely going to be looking for bearish stuff. But then I could be like, okay, well, even before, like during pre-market, I should have seen, oh, okay, well, obviously we came down here, we swept liquidity here, and we also swept liquidity here. We swept this liquidity first, then we came back down, swept that liquidity, boom, we rallied all the way up, filled this imbalance. Okay, now we didn't tap into it here, but essentially we swept high time frame liquidity right here. So why would we be bullish, or why would we be bearish? Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're gonna probably be in a bearish trend, but we have this high time frame order block at like a 1 hour, maybe even be 4 hour, but we also have London highs to be swept. And look at the order block 50% and the London highs 50%. They are like spot on. So like obviously we're gonna come back up here. I was just blinded by the fact and that like we had a long wick from this equilibrium fair value gap, which to be fair, I mean, yeah, if you see that in a trade, well, maybe not, but if I see that, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I'm seeing movement off of this confluence, but I also could have been like, okay, well, this is a higher time frame holds higher power, and this is a higher con confluenced area. If that makes sense. So we're obviously gonna have to come back up here at a later point, and then there was literally SMT here. We swept lows, not that, bro, not that shit, bro. This right here. Literally, like on ES, we swept these lows. Bro, what the bro, what is this? Look, we literally swept the lows. Boom. Divergence. And if we're bullish and we just swept those lows, that means this is the lagging, which means I should be trading here instead. You know what I'm saying? I could have been like, oh, so we sweep here. Oh, and then we sweep here. All right, perfect. Lower time frame. I could have been like, what time was this? This was way past when I would have been trading. But, oh, order block. We see it get tapped into. Perfect. We already have a breaker structure. We don't need to wait for a breaker structure. Just get it in there. 50%. Maybe like 1 pip past. Boom. 1 to 2. Perfect. Let's look for a trade where I would have been trading. Well, it would have been here. It'd have been somewhere around here. I would have been like, oh, we just swept London lows. Okay, so we're gonna be and there's a divergence. S&T divergence. So we're gonna come back down. So this one's lagging. We need to be trading on the lagging index. Where's our order block at? We could say here. Boom, move down. Gets tapped into. Now, technically, this is the order block. Right here. I just saw that, and I figured, okay, that's probably what it thinks. But here, this is technically the order block, because this is the move down. Move down before the big move up. And then right here, candle opens, closes outside of the order block, opens outside of the order block, taps into it. I mean, like, all right, we've already broken structure, and it just tapped into it. Perfect. We can put our lows at the 50%, which is right at the bottom of this fair value gap, maybe 1 extra pip just for safety. Boom, 2 to 1. And if you want to, boom, these highs are definitely gonna get like taken out at the very least. So we can put it up there. But I probably would have just gone with the 1 to 2. Or 2 to 1. Easy, right there. I could be like, oh, we just swept London lows. We have SMT. Okay, let me trade on the lagging index. We just swept lows, and we have this high time frame order block. Let me just get along here. Okay, there's a order block on the 1 minute. Oh, we just saw it got tapped into. We just broke structure essentially at the same time. Let's take a trade. Oh, perfect, perfect confluenced area to have our stop loss. There's a fair value gap and 50% order block. Put your stop loss just a little bit under that, and you'll be all good to go. Could have easily done that shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know. Sometimes you're just blinded by that. So that's the thing I need to work on is being able to like genuinely be flexible in how I'm looking at the market and not just being like, oh, we're bearish. I need to be only looking for bearish stuff. I need to be honest, I need to be starting to look at like higher time frames more instead of just being on the 15 and the 5, being like, okay, well, I'm bearish, so let me just look for bearish stuff. I got to be like, okay, well, oh, we're coming down here. We see these London lows. Oh, they got swept. All right, perfect. Let me look for longs now. Because we're obviously going to come back up here. And we're not going to come back. I'm not going to wait till we come up here to take a trade. Because, bro, 12 o'clock? I'm not waiting till 12 o'clock to take a trade. Hell no. So let me just take a long. Because in the time that we're trading, we're going to be long. Look, we've been bullish for the entire trading day, essentially. For when I would have traded. So I come in like, okay, just take a fucking long. Essentially, that's what I should have done. But I was just blinded by the fact that I was bearish and I kept seeing these bearish confluences. Look, 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 look. Boom, this. Bearish. SMT. Look, boom. I saw that. That's what I saw. And I was already bearish. So, it kind of like blinded me. Essentially, I was like, oh, there's an SMT. And it stayed like it held through. It closed like that. So I was like, okay, because sometimes people are like, oh, there's an SMT, even though the candle's still not closed. So the candle could just break the SMT and then close, and then it will be no SMTs. You got to wait for the closure. So it closed, and I'm like, all right, dude, we just had a long wick off of this fair value gap, and we have SMT. We're definitely going to come down. And I could have taken a trade at somewhere here. You know what I'm saying? If I really wanted to short, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I should have been like, okay, yeah, we're bearish, but I see now we're going bearish. But we have London lows right here. So, I probably would have been like, okay, let me at least wait till we get to London lows, see what happens. If we just blow right past London lows, maybe I can look for an entry. Or maybe I would have missed a trade or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But like, to be honest, I don't know. But like I don't know. I should have just realized. I literally said it. I was like, dude, we just swept London lows on ES, but not on NQ. So I was like, essentially, I was saying, oh, we swept London lows on ES, and we haven't on NQ. So we're definitely gonna come and sweep them on NQ because we did on ES, so that means we got it on NQ, right? No, bro. There's an SNT. We swept them on NQ or ES. We didn't on NQ. So that means, okay, we're gonna be bullish for the day. What is this? Lagging or leading. So what does that make this? Lagging. What do we do? Wait for a move down into somewhere. You know what I'm saying? 5 minute order. No, not a 5 minute order block. I would have probably, yeah, entering here would have probably been best. Yeah, that honestly probably was the trade I should have taken. But it's fine. You know, stuff happens. But the the review. I executed my trading plan exactly how I was supposed to. I always do that, you know, follow the trading plan. What things were done correctly. I was able to find confluences that I thought were correct, and to a degree they were, but they weren't fully correct. The things were done incorrectly was I completely disregarded anything of a bullish bias, especially when we had bullish SMTs on the London lows and completely disregarded them and kept being bearish. That's kind of something I learned though, because what I was thinking was, oh yeah, we swept lows on ES. That means, and we have it on NQ. That means we're going to on NQ. So let me short. Let me look for confluence, and then we're gonna short. We're gonna short down. What the fuck? We're gonna short down to the lows. No, dude. Just because there's an SMT, and just because we swept them on ES doesn't mean we're gonna sweep them on NQ. And now I know that. So now I won't be like, oh, let me short because these are gonna go down to lows now. And these have ES has, NQ hasn't. Let me short because NQ has to go to the lows. That's not true. But now that I know that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't take a trade that day. But, you know, it's whatever. Shit happens. But yeah, that's gonna be about it for today's video. Um, hold on. Let's see. Before we end video, let's see what was happening. What happened? Oh, this is ES. Now let's look at NQ. Because that one had already hit. Oh yeah, it went way past. Technically, there's SMT right now. Look. I mean, oh, it's not closed. And yes, I'm still holding to that. But look. And I'm pretty sure, by the way, SMT is based off the high, not a wick. Like some people are like, would be like, oh, this is an SMT, or no, not that, because like, oh, this is an SMT, or like, I'm trying to here, like clicking like one of these. Oh, this is an SMT. That's not a high. This right here is not a high. That's just a wick, bro. This is a high. This is a high. This is a high. This is a high. So that's why, boom, SMT. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. I should have been. I just got to be more open to finding the correct stuff. I gotta be more open to um looking at both sides of things instead of just being blinded by my bias. And like I'm sticking to like yeah, you want to stick to your bias to an extent, but I'm doing it way too hard. I'm like, "Oh, we're bearish, only look for bearish, nothing else." You got to be able to look at, okay, I can see what price action is doing. We might have to be bullish instead of being like, "Oh, yeah, we swept London lows. Let me just still be bearish." Like, bro. And there's bullish S&T. Like, what, bro? What? Don't even make no sense, bro. But yeah, that's gonna be about it for today's video. I mean, I'm still learning some stuff. This is my first funded. I still have one trade left, technically. So, um, I will maybe one. I think I'll have one more trade, and we'll see how it goes. If not, I mean, if I lose it, then if I lose the eval, it's not that bad. Cause it's my first one, you know. So you just gotta um learn from your losses and keep going. And I'm getting pretty close. I mean, this bias thing is probably like the last thing, or like it's like the biggest thing that I have right now. Because there's been multiple situations where the bias, the switching of biases is kind of messed up stuff, or the not switching of biases. So it's just like being able to find both sides of things instead of just being blinded by what you think and not wanting to like be flexible with it. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing because once I'm able to do that, bro, I will be able to find because I can find trades, bro. Like that's the thing is like my confluences sometimes like yesterday, like I my trade I just got unlucky and just got wicked out, you know. I mean, yeah, there probably was more optimal trade and there definitely was. But right after I got wicked out, it went straight to my TP and passed it. So like I was correct in the confluences and stuff. I just had like a unoptimal like entry and stuff. So like I know I have an edge in the market and I can like trade correctly. It's just small it's things like my buy like right now my bias the bias stuff. But once I'm able to like do that and change that, then I think that's when I'll start to get a lot better. But yeah, that's gonna be about it for today's video. I will see you guys in the next one on probably the next video will be my weekly recap. So we'll see how that goes. Or we'll see when that is. Either I mean obviously either Saturday or Sunday. Probably tomorrow in the morning. But yeah, I will see you guys to probably tomorrow for the weekly recap. Peace.